incredible, right? What the hell is that? I'm Steve, this is Classified Captures. Now why don't we just get on with it?
I'm Savannah. And it is our 2-year anniversary. Officially 2 years. We've been dating for 2 years, but we've known each other forever.
And before you think it, no, she's not my girlfriend. And she's not announcing our engagement, so pay attention.
Anniversary. Officially 2 years. We've been dating for 2 years, but we've known each other forever. You didn't just see something come in here?
Did you catch that? Did you? Someone materialized from nowhere and just walked into one of the rooms. She immediately goes to find the person and asks the man of her dreams who the video was about. If it's seen it, or her, or him, it's confusing to know what exactly that was. Some in the community think she's got a spirit latched onto her, while others think it's the work of a jealous ex. Well, you've seen it now, so what do you think?
Officially 2 years. We've been dating for 2 years, but we've known each other forever. You didn't just see something come in here?
You might want to turn your sound on for this one.
It's like a plane, a small plane. There should be a military base in that distance.
Did you hear that? They sound like gunshots, don't they? The only problem is the guys filming insist there's no reason for them to be hearing that. They recorded this on April the 9th, and according to them, the sound was actually coming from the sky and not from the ground. They couldn't see any planes or helicopters, but could you hear what sounded like rapid fire echoing through the night with no explanation? There was also no official report from the local authorities explaining what might be happening, which is why they uploaded it in the first place. As with these things, there are many opinions. Some think there's a war going on in the skies, hidden from our eyes, while others feel this is an auditory illusion component of Project Blue being tested. There's also a sect that believe these guys basically edited the clips so they could become famous. What do you think?
That sounds like an ATM log. Okay. It's like a plane, a small plane. There should be a military base in that distance.
Do you think that Iran bombed it?
I don't know. Not sure.
Wow. See, cloud formations like this, I just find it's incredible, right? Look at that. On a normal beach on what looks like a pretty sunny day. Now, this was posted by AccuWeather as a meteorological wonder. And this is in the sky over Newcastle. Is that Newcastle, America, Newcastle, England? I wonder. I think that's very cool. Marine researchers using advanced thermal imaging have detected a bizarre organism in the deep sea that defies all scientific classification. The end of shifting gelatinous structure that glows with an intense heat signature, suggesting anything unknown biological life. Sonar activity failed to identify a solid mass, but their scans revealed a sprawling network of limbs. Marine, what the hell is that? It kind of looks looks a cross between like a human and an animal. But they're different. These are all different looking. I mean, that looks like a spider. The one before looked like it had 2 arms and legs. This looks more like a scorpion. I'm not sure. I mean, if you ask me, this looks more like AI. I mean, doesn't it? Doesn't this look like AI? Coachella. Now, did any of you watch it live? If you did, can you confirm if you saw this clip the way we're seeing it? So, according to videos circulating during the concert, he ran into a beam of light which made him look weird in the camera. For a split second, he looked like a zombie, and the narrative is that when the program switcher noticed, they immediately changed the scene. Well, sounds bizarre and mysterious, but I'm all for that, as you know. The subsequent clips I've seen don't really have this detail, but, well, you and I know they can alter these clips, so can reporters. So, who do you think is telling the truth here? And if he genuinely changed into a zombie, well, what the hell does that mean? Should we be worried when scientists just start dying under mysterious circumstances? What if this happened in different states over the course of several months? Well, does that make it suspicious? What if you found out that they were all working on a similar project that has to do with aerospace defense systems, leaning towards anti-gravity technology? Are you feeling suspicious yet? At least 11 scientists connected to the project have gone missing and died. One person in particular, Amy Eskridge, was public in her last days and stated that she would not commit suicide under any circumstances. A pretty weird fact to put out there, but guess what? She died, and the cause of death was ruled to be suicide. Now, this is a story I'm going to be digging into, so keep your eyes here for the rest of it. Until then, do you think they were systematically taken out? And if they were, who do you think would want to do such a thing? I have my theory.
I started the Institute for one reason, the Institute. I started it as a public-facing persona to disclose anti-gravity technology through, because I told Mark this. If you stick your neck out in public, at least someone notices if your head gets chopped off. If you stick your neck out in private, they will bury you. They will burn down your house while you're sleeping in your bed, and it won't even make the news. My hands have been burned to hell and back as I've been typing, because you can beam me through there and through there, and you can get a 3D image of what I'm typing. Because this computer doesn't have a Wi-Fi card, you can't hack it. But you can maybe get a 3D image of me typing. So like we just did that and did that as an act of pure desperation. And guess what? I feel better immediately. I
don't believe that she killed herself. I just can't, because I spoke to her 4 hours before and she told me time and time again, I'm not going to commit suicide. I am not going to have an accident. If there's something suspicious about my death.
The footage you're seeing was recorded by a robot being used for maintenance in a sewer system. Did you catch that? Yeah, that. Now, I'm not sure how large the maintenance robot was, but whatever that was seems to be moving on 2 legs with a long tail. It just hopped across. If I didn't know this was a sewer system, I would have said this was a kangaroo of sorts in motion, but you and I know kangaroos don't exactly frequent sewer systems, and we don't even know if that's Australia. So, what do you think we're dealing with here? Cryptid, alien, or something beyond our darkest dreams? Freaky looking, right? Meet the MacLeod beetle larvae. The tiny things begin life as tiny active forms called triangulins. They don't behave like typical grubs. Instead, they climb flowers and wait in stillness for passing bees. Some even gather together and mimic the look and scent of a female bee, tricking males into carrying them away. It feels less like instinct and more like a strange act of deception unfolding in plain sight. Once inside a bee nest, the larvae change form and become soft and slow. They feed on bee eggs and stored food, quietly taking over the space. They do this until the developing bee dies. The larvae then continue feeding and growing until they complete their development and eventually become adult blister beetles, leaving the empty nest behind. I'm not sure about you, but these give me the heebie-jeebies. What if everything you've been shown about space isn't exactly what it seems? Tim Burchett has been quietly raising eyebrows. In interviews and clips, he hints that agencies like NASA may not be telling the full story about what lies beyond our skies. He never says it outright, but the suggestion alone is enough to make people pause. Online, those hints have taken on a life of their own. Some believe it goes much further, that the images we trust, the vastness of space, even astronauts drifting in silence, might not be what they appear. A studio instead of the stars, a setup instead of the cosmos. Now, there's no confirmed record of him making that claim directly. Still, the idea keeps spreading, blurring the line between fact and interpretation. And it leaves behind a question that's hard to shake. If even a small part of what he's saying has been shaped for us, well, how much have we accepted without ever questioning it?
Hey, man, you know, they film all that stuff in a Hollywood studio. We really didn't go to the moon. Anyway, folks, I'm tired, so we'll be back next week figuring it out. Thank y'all for seeing me.
There are people who love the great outdoors, and there's me who doesn't go anywhere but loves to see these videos and tell you about them. I'm just joking. You know I go all over the place. I'm a biker, for God's sake. Too much information anyway. Have any of you heard of the Great Wolf Lodge? I've been hearing stories about that place, and this might be the wildest. A family staying there stayed in separate rooms with a connecting door in between. After retiring to bed for the first day, their mom suddenly woke up in the middle of the night because she heard her daughter scream. Daddy then rushes in, asking what's wrong, and he finds his daughter in the corner screaming, "It's still in here." She'd apparently heard a man come in and assumed it was her dad, only to discover he wasn't there with her. What's more, whatever or whoever the person was had no face. Naturally, this placed everybody on high alert, and they decided to stay together for the first night. They locked the adjoining door for extra safety. Everyone goes to sleep, but Dad stays awake as every protector of the family should. At one point, he saw the lights on the other side go off, and shortly after he heard a knock. He gets up to check it out but sees no one there. He wouldn't have had enough time to double-check because he noticed his wife was having a nightmare. He rushes over to her side to ask what was wrong, and this is what she said. She had a dream and got up to use the washroom in that dream. After going out, she found herself outside the room on the other side of the door alone. She kept knocking for them to open her, but no one came. That struck the man hard because, well, that was probably the strange knocking he heard. But how's that even possible? The next day, he separated the kids and asked them what they saw, and both described seeing the same things their sister saw. What's more shocking is that the scream she heard from the other room didn't really come from the kids. They never screamed for her help. They changed rooms after this and were fine. Now, personally, I may have left and returned home, but good for them. Now, has anyone been here? Have you had such an experience? Or would you even go there purposely to experience something like this? Let us know in the comments.
Come on, Mama.
Oh, she don't like this one. Wasn't expecting that.
Come on, Mama.
Dang, Big Mama. Is there something in here? We rebuke it, Kai Kai. We rebuke it.
Now, I think everybody who ever has lived in the countryside and has heard foxes when they scream, it sounds like one of the worst, most terrifying things in the world when you hear it for the first time. But it's just nature doing its thing. So
I'm gonna get you.
this sound that you're hearing right now, yeah, just a little fox. Hey, baby.
Hey, boo.
Oh, bless. Look at that gorgeous little thing.
Who's a happy boy?
Oh,
Happy boy. Look at that.
I want a pet fox. They look so much fun.
He's a cute.
Yeah, look at that little
I'm
thing.
gonna get you.
Bless him.
Boy. Look at that happy boy. Look at that cute face. Look at that cute face. He's a cute.
Speaking of strange things involving animals, this homeowner was out chilling with her pets one night when she noticed a strange-looking being staring at them. Not sure if you can see this, but there's a dog silhouette where the dog was paying attention to before the clip cuts. She believes it might have been some sort of evil spirit, whilst some in the paranormal community believe she set the whole thing up to go viral. And it did go viral, all right, but do you think this is genuine or legitimate footage?
The dogs are ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here. Get ready to go to bed myself. What the f*** is that? What? Oh, God!
So I recently came across this clip about a black smoke ring showing up in the sky at Muncie, Indiana. No one who saw it knew what it was, and frankly, I still don't know what it represents. I decided to double check and see if it had come up in other places, and surely enough it had. The second one was recorded in Kansas, but they had an explanation. They stated that it could have been created by some explosion of sorts, caused by rapidly rising air trapping smoke in a ring-like formation. They likened it to mushroom clouds from explosions as well. Now, do you think this could be the same explanation for what we saw in Muniz, or are they just trying to throw us off the radar? Now, this is an interesting looking project, wouldn't you agree? If it wasn't clear already, it's an underground shelter created from an unused mine. The man in the clip claims he converted this for his friends and family. It has plumbing and electrical wiring sorted out. It's designed to sustain them for a significant amount of time in case of an emergency. Now, as interesting as this is, it definitely took significant investment. These people aren't the only ones doing this. Several rich folks are, and the big question is, why? Why are they spending billions building underground bunkers? What do they know that we don't? This one isn't a paranormal clip, it's just as unsettling, but in a different way. A 20-year-old woman lost her vision after doing something most people never think twice about, wearing contact lenses in the shower during a trip to the Dominican Republic. During that shower, she was exposed to tap water containing a microscopic parasite. It got trapped under her lenses and embedded into her corneas, leading to a severe infection. At first, it wasn't even caught. She was misdiagnosed and given steroid drops, which only made things worse. Within 1 week, she completely lost vision in both eyes. After the correct diagnosis, she began intensive antiparasitic treatment using eye drops every 30 to 60 minutes. The treatment is expected to last anywhere from 6 months to a year. So far, she's regained partial vision in her left eye only. All of this from something that feels completely normal. You've probably done it yourself without thinking twice. Well, don't do it again. This is real. No AI, no editing tricks. That volcano is actually erupting. This happened recently in April 2026. In the clip, we see ash and debris suddenly blasting into the air. Within seconds, the hikers turn and run as visibility drops and small rocks begin falling around them. It looks intense, and honestly, it is. The clip spread quickly because of how close they were to it. But here's the part most people miss. This wasn't rare or unexpected. San Torquito is one of the most active volcanoes in Central America. It erupts frequently, sometimes even daily. The area those hikers were in is considered dangerous and falls within a restricted zone that people are usually told to avoid. Despite how chaotic it looks, there were no reports of serious injuries. What you're seeing is real panic, real danger, but also a reminder of what happens when people get too close to something that behaves like this all the time. Some people might like to stay at home when they see stuff like this, but quite frankly, as I keep saying, this is why I like to travel. This is why I like to get out and see stuff, because sometimes when you get closer to danger, it reminds you just how lucky you are to be alive. Now let's look at this next clip. To provide a bit of context, this powerful tornado moved through Enid and came very close to Vance Air Force Base, where people were actually filming as it approached. Reports say the storm was so strong that it flattened buildings and tossed cars through the air, showing how violent it was. Situations like this are life-threatening because the tornado can destroy almost everything in its path within seconds, leaving little time for people to escape or find shelter. Being at home won't save you from a tornado like this. That's scary. Very scary. Maybe we should all be getting our personal bunkers. Who amongst you would start the project so we buy into it? Can any of you explain what we just saw? I'd love to believe it's real, but how can the man already have his selfie camera rolling before the incident even happened? Can you guys make sense of it? 'Cause I sure as hell can't. This comment got me here laughing. On a more serious note, any experts here to confirm if this is legit or not? If it is, did you know Crocs could do this? A resident of New Jersey shared this bizarre footage online, and it's causing quite a stir. In the video, a strange craft is seen flying across the night sky. It performs a sudden U-turn, locking its position to face a glowing red circle with an orbit at center hovering nearby. The glowing orb appears to be tracking the craft, and as the craft maneuvers to face the orb, it feels like the two are about to engage in some kind of standoff or battle. The red circle and its orb seem eerily coordinated, almost as if it's challenging the mysterious craft. What's going on here? Could this be related to the ongoing drone sightings in New Jersey? We've stepped into a new year, but the mystery of New Jersey's skies continues to deepen. What do you think is going on? When it comes to road construction, engineers must use strong materials that can withstand the pressure from huge and heavy vehicles. So they use stones, bricks, and the rest. So imagine my surprise when I came across this footage.
In Chicago right now, and I look over at this street that's getting tore up right now, and I'm like, oh, cool, pavers were once underneath this road. No, bro, this is wood. This street in Chicago was like wood pavers. I have never in my life seen this before. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know this existed. But no, I mean, look at this. It's all...
A man walking through Chicago came across this road. When he looked on the ground, there was what looked like bricks, but as he got closer, he found out that they weren't bricks, but wood. The street was made of wood. How is this even possible for all those years? So I looked at the comment section and some people did confirm it. One person said Wooden Alley is a historical woodblock paved road connecting Astor Street and State Street in the near North Side neighborhood of Chicago, Illinois. The alley is 530 feet, 160 meters long, and composed of wooden blocks roughly 6 to 10 inches, 150 to 250 millimeters long, and 4 inches, 100 millimeter wide. Interesting, wouldn't you agree?
In Chicago was like wood pavers. I have never in my life seen this before. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't know this existed. But no, I mean, look at this. It's all, you can see like the wood dust underneath it. Somebody hooked me up with some knowledge about this because I am shook and fascinated.
Imagine coming home after a long day, eager to relax, only to find this bizarre-looking thing on your door.
I'm scared.
I know if I was the one who saw this, there'd be no evidence left for a video. It's been a while, but we bring back the bonus segment where you get to tell us what we are looking at and give us one fact in the comments section in exchange for your few seconds of fame on the channel. The only thing is, today we chose a rather unusual footage for our segment. I do have absolute faith in you though. I know you guys can find out what this is. Just tell me its name and one fact about it, starting with the word bonus written in caps so I can easily find it. May the best man, slime, win. A man exploring the breathtaking mountains of Kyrgyzstan had an unexpected encounter. While enjoying the scenic beauty, he witnessed an avalanche cascading down the slopes in the distance. From his vantage point, he watched as a massive cloud of dust and debris surged forward. But what he didn't anticipate was just how far the avalanche's force would travel. Before he knew it, the swirling cloud of snow and dust reached his location. Reacting quickly, he sought shelter behind a large rock, using it as a shield against the oncoming wave. Nature's beauty is indeed captivating, but it comes with its own dangers. Looks like this man was prepared.
Oh God. Oh dear God.
Take a look at this clip.
You can zoom in more on Instagrams. It's a silhouette, right, of someone.
Take a second look. I'm not the only one seeing what appears to be a humanoid-looking cloud, right? The individual who uploaded this clip mentioned that it looked more convincing in person, and I'm tempted to believe him. Not just because of the fact that his account hadn't been posting paranormal things before this clip, but because these kinds of clips with clouds looking like humanoids have been showing up a lot recently. If you watched our episodes during Christmas, you'd have seen a few of these. If you didn't, you can check them out after this video. The sheer number of clips coming up recently featuring humanoids in the clouds has led many in the paranormal community to believe that there are beings in our clouds. But one question they have been unable to answer is, what are these beings? Another that requires answering is, why are they here? Why are they allowing themselves to be captured at this time? Not everyone is convinced these are aliens, though. Some think it's basically the mind playing tricks on us, something along the lines of pareidolia. I know this is a controversial one, but what do you guys also think?
They can zoom in more on Instagrams. It's a silhouette, right, of someone.
Sí, escuchan un montón de ruido. Y se escuchan por todo el patio encima. No es algo que, digo, pasó en un solo lugar. Pero no sé. ¿Qué fue eso?
A woman was out late one evening, having just finished running some errands and preparing to settle in for the night. As she made her way back inside, she couldn't shake a strange feeling that something was off. The atmosphere around her felt unusually tense. So she decided to pull out her phone and start filming, hoping to capture whatever might be making her so uncomfortable. In the background, you can hear her dog barking, a clear sign that even the animal sensed something wasn't right. As she panned the camera around her surroundings, something startled her. In a moment of panic, she rushed back inside the house. But what had spooked her so much? Let's take another look at the footage. There it was. Standing in the corner of the building, barely visible in the dim light, was a dark figure. It appeared to be facing her, silently watching. Her instincts had been right all along. But what could that figure be?
Pero no sé. ¿Qué fue eso?
I'm here at the balcony in Joltin. I see the weirdest thing upstairs. It's not a glitch in my phone, huh? I'm zooming in. It's shining, doing something.
This next footage from Thailand was captured in May. A man staying in Phuket was looking out from his hotel window when he spotted something floating above one of the tallest buildings in the city. The object was oddly shaped, glowing brightly, and appeared to be emitting different colors, shifting between them almost as if pulsing with energy. Naturally, the first thing that comes to mind for many viewers is the possibility of a UFO. Could this be another case of extraterrestrial activity, or is there a more earthly explanation for what was seen? What do you think it is?
I'm here at the balcony in Joltin. I see the weirdest thing upstairs. It's not a glitch in my phone, huh? I'm zooming in. It's shining, doing something. And as far as
I got 5 chickens. I don't want any LED on them. None. Scan my shirt 5 times, buddy. 5 times.
This footage shows a bizarre and head-scratching moment captured at a supermarket. A man purchases 5 rotisserie chickens, but instead of letting the cashier scan the barcodes on the chickens themselves, he insists they scan a QR code printing on his t-shirt 5 times. He explained that he didn't want the LED lights from the scanner to touch his food. He believes the red light could somehow affect the chicken, but doesn't seem to realize the scanner still emits the same light onto his shirt. If there were any supposed danger from the LED lights, well, wouldn't he be exposing himself even more directly? It's an amusing interaction, but perhaps he really knows something that we don't.
Scan it. I did. Okay.
A home security camera captured the actions of 3 men attempting to steal a car. They approached the vehicle under the cover of darkness and quickly removed the covers from one of the headlights. Using an indicator wire, one of the individuals connected it to a handheld OBD2 device. This device allowed them to interface with the car's onboard diagnostic system, enabling them to start the vehicle without needing a key. Once they accessed the car's systems, they unlocked the doors and swiftly got inside. With little regard for the risk, they drove off without attracting any attention or facing any obstacles. Looks like that home may need extra security. On that note, let me make sure my car is still in the parking lot. Hold on a sec. I'll be back in a minute. Some workers were out on the field late one night when they noticed something unusual floating by in the night sky. It was a glowing figure, faint yet unmistakable. According to the workers, this figure was the spirit of one of their colleagues who tragically passed away in a work accident. When paranormal experts reviewed the footage, they determined that the figure had an ectoplasmic quality to it, a substance often associated with spirit manifestations. You've seen the clip. What's your analysis as well? A group of hikers decided to walk deep within the woods, pushing further than they'd ever gone before. After a long trek, they stopped to catch their breath. As they took in the scenery, one of them noticed that something didn't look right. Among the dense thicket of bushes, a strange, hazy area stood out. It was a spot where everything seemed to blur. It was almost like something or someone was standing there completely cloaked but still affecting the view around it. They squinted, trying to make sense of the strange sight, but the distortion seemed oddly deliberate, almost intentional. Some say it could have been a cloaked creature, something beyond our understanding. Others suggest it might have been a person using an advanced cloaking system, possibly military-grade or experimental tech. With today's rapid advancements in stealth technology, the idea isn't as far-fetched as it once would have seemed. So what exactly were these hikers seeing? A man was driving down a deserted street one night when his dash cam captured something truly unsettling. On the side of the road, there appeared to be a pale figure sitting cross-legged on the ground, its head bent downward. At first glance, it looked like a person draped in a white robe, motionless and eerie in the darkness. But as the car approached and passed by, the figure lifted its head and moved, revealing something truly bizarre. It didn't look human at all. Upon closer inspection, what seemed like a white robe wasn't clothing, it was the figure's own skin, stark and unnervingly white. So what exactly is this? A paranormal entity, an unknown creature, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts. While children in many parts of the world eagerly await the gifts Santa will leave under the Christmas tree, things look quite different in some regions of Indonesia. Take this clip for instance. We see men holding large sacks force this young boy into one as he kicks and cries in protest. But don't worry, this isn't a kidnapping. It's actually part of a Christmas costume. These men roam neighborhoods, and parents with naughty children invite them over to teach their kids a lesson. The men pretend to carry the kids away in sacks as a warning. However, they're careful not to harm the children, as you can see in the footage. One man even shakes the boy's hand gently when he stands in the sack crying. The idea is to scare the kids into behaving better in the upcoming year. This tradition is inspired by Sinterklaas, a Dutch Christmas tradition that also involves playful scare tactics to keep children on their best behavior. What do you think? Is this an effective way to encourage good behavior throughout the year, or a creative way to create childhood traumas? Footage has emerged showing a huge patch of clouds floating unusually close to the ground, right above the water. It looked as though someone on a boat could reach up and touch it. This cloud not only floated at an oddly low altitude, but also had a peculiar shape. At one point, part of the cloud shot out, changing its shape dramatically. While clouds naturally move and change shape, this seemed different. Now, I don't know how this is possible because clouds are typically high up in the sky. Some observers have suggested that this might be evidence of artificial clouds created by humans, possibly for weather modification purposes. There's a growing body of speculation around cloud seeding and other geoengineering techniques that could explain such anomalies. On the other hand, conspiracy theorists have long positioned that unusual clouds could be cloaked UFOs, while advanced technology to disguise themselves. The erratic movement and shape-shifting characteristics of this cloud seem to lend some credence to these theories. Others might argue that this is simply a rare but natural atmospheric phenomenon, perhaps involving temperature inversions or unique weather patterns that we don't fully understand. What do you think is going on here? Tell me, do you see anything strange about this clip? There appears to be a triangular shape and a ring of light around the sun. The one who took the clip was confused and wondered what could be causing this strange thing he was seeing. He uploaded it to one of the paranormal platforms we're on, and once it was there, everyone had something to say. A number of individuals in the community thought this had to be evidence of a cloaked UFO in our skies. The triangular outline in the sky, as well as the ring of light, was to them more than enough proof that there was a UFO hiding that was being exposed by the sun. Now, when I saw this, I looked at the clip several times and thought it might make sense. I finally said to myself that this was evidence of UFO activity that no one could dispute. I should have known better than to say that with Julius our science was around. Like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory, he just had to chip in his thoughts afterwards. According to him, this could be the result of converging chemtrails left behind by two aircraft. This, according to him, could create the illusion we are seeing. For those unfamiliar with the term, planes typically leave behind white trails called contrails as their hot exhaust gases mix with the cold air. These trails are mostly made of water vapor that freezes in ice crystals. They're not always visible, but when this happens near the sun, the bright light can make it more noticeable and might even create interesting visual effects like a halo or glare, making the contrails seem more prominent or dramatic. This, according to him, might be what we are seeing. But that's not dramatic enough for me. A part of me thinks there might be alien activity going on there. You've seen the clip. What do you think? A homeowner shared a puzzling security camera clip from his porch. In the footage, a box that was sitting still suddenly slides forward on its own without any external force. There was no wind or visible interference to explain the movement. This eerie event has sparked a lot of speculation. Could it be paranormal activity, with a ghost deciding it needed a package for some otherworldly delivery? Or could there be a more grounded explanation, like vibrations, static electricity, or an animal out of frame nudging the box? I don't have answers, and the paranormal community can't seem to agree on one thing, so can you help? This footage tells an eerie yet oddly charming story. A dog owner, curious about the commotion from the night before, reviewed his home security camera footage only to uncover something truly mysterious. His black dog, full of energy, was seen running around and playing with another dog, but this other dog had white fur that appeared almost translucent with a ghostly quality to its movements. The two dogs were joyfully chasing each other, their play filled with boundless energy. Yet the mysterious white dog didn't belong to the household, and its otherworldly appearance made the owner uneasy. Was it a stray that just happened to pass by, or something more supernatural like a ghostly canine companion visiting for a night of fun? Regardless of what it was, the black dog didn't seem to mind. It was simply enjoying the moment. What do you think? There are stories of how ancient floods destroyed advanced civilizations, forcing humans to start anew. These theories often stem from various hieroglyphs found in historical places, from giant structures to portal-like formations. These ancient carvings depict scenes that are both fascinating and puzzling. What do these images mean? It cannot just be imagination if these drawings and paintings show similar things from different parts of the world. Some suggest these depictions are evidence of ancient visitors from other planets, while others argue that they're symbolic representations of natural phenomena or spiritual beliefs. Archaeologists and historians have long debated the meanings behind these drawings. Some believe they represent the technological prowess of ancient civilizations, suggesting that humanity once possessed advanced knowledge and capabilities. The images of crafts and giant humans found in disparate locations around the globe hint at a shared heritage or knowledge. So what do you think? Are these hieroglyphs evidence of a forgotten advanced civilization, or are they merely myth and legend? Speaking of Bigfoot, this elusive creature has been a subject of curiosity for years. The idea of Bigfoot fighting a bull might be thrilling, but it would only be possible if the creature was real. Someone shared this intriguing image online. While he was out in the mountains, he felt like something was staring at him. When he looked back, he saw this creature hiding behind a large rock. The creature was dark, with only its head sticking out from behind the rock. It didn't look human and had an animalistic appearance, which led him to believe it was Bigfoot. The footage has sparked a heated debate. On one hand, believers see this as compelling evidence that Bigfoot exists and is out hiding in remote areas. On the other hand, skeptics argue that this could easily be a hoax. The figure might be a person in a costume or simply a play of shadows and light, creating an illusion of a creature. With today's technology, editing and creating such videos has become easier, leading many to doubt the authenticity of such sightings. So what do you think? Is this proof that the elusive Bigfoot is indeed real and hiding out there, or is it all just a hoax fueled by someone's wild imagination? Share your thoughts and theories. While you type out your answers on Hmel Park, take a look at this clip. Now, at first glance, it might look like someone showing off what working remotely looks like, but that's not at all what's happening. The man you see on your screens right now, despite his calm composure, is conflicted. He recently moved into a property he's recording from and started experiencing strange things. He told a few people about it, but everyone thought he was just jittery after moving into a new place alone. Determined to prove he was not seeing or hearing things, he started recording at random times, and surely enough, he did capture something in this footage. The audio is enhanced, so you should be able to hear it. Did you catch that? It sounds like someone's footsteps can be heard moving around on his property. That was not part of the deal, yet it was what was happening. He shared the footage on paranormal platforms seeking answers, and many told him the house was most likely something that had a dark past. They weren't sure what had happened there, but whatever it was, they knew it was significant enough for spirits to make themselves known whenever there was a new person in the property. What would you have done in his shoes? Moved out, or simply faced the unknown terror that probably lived there for decades or centuries before you were even born? Let's hear your thoughts. I never thought I'd be excited to see a piece of over-engineered equipment, but that device on your screens right now, that gives me joy. In case it was not obvious already, that's a bug killer, and although we're not told how it works, we can confidently say that this demonstration is enough to win us over. I mean, look at that. It's supposed to be a mosquito killer, but it's clearly killing other winged insects too. Some even argued that it may be killing moths, so it's not perfect, but a little tweaking and we got ourselves a full mosquito defense system. Would you be willing to pay for something like this? Also, how many are you buying? My answer to all these questions is yes. It doesn't make sense, but it's still a yes. You know the movie Alien vs. Predator, right? And how the predators look, those terrifying armored creatures with their elongated heads and razor-sharp mandibles. Well, take a look at this insect a man found in his garden and tell me it doesn't look just like them. It's a black insect with an unusually long head. At one point, it even opened its mouth to reveal what seemed like razor-sharp teeth on its lower jaw. It's absolutely bizarre. The person who found it tried searching for what this creature could be, but found no match. Oh, I don't know about you, but this thing looks a lot like some kind of predator or alien creature to me. Some are saying it might be a mutated praying mantis, but no known mantis looks this terrifying. Could it be that this insect is something we've never seen before? Or did someone just make this with AI to mislead us all? Share your thoughts. Here's another mysterious capture from a trail camera. The owner set it up hoping to capture some wildlife, but when he reviewed the footage, he was in for a shock. Instead of animals, an illuminated figure appeared right in front of the camera. This being glowed intensely, its features completely obscured, leaving only a distinct, ghostly silhouette behind. The camera was set to night vision, yet it struggled to capture anything but this blazing outline. What could we be dealing with here? An interdimensional being, or perhaps a bioluminescent alien? Share your thoughts. First of all, this is something you shouldn't do without proper gear, especially at night. These guys clearly didn't catch the memo and decided to explore a haunted bridge at night. There's poor visibility, and from the little we see, the terrain isn't so safe. But what exactly are they after? Well, rumor has it that there's a non-human entity living down there. They figured that nighttime was the time it made itself visible, since there weren't any peeping toms at that point of the day, at least until these guys came around. The clip ends the moment the guys actually find whatever is there, leaving us on a very bad cliffhanger. Many in the community demand the rest of the footage, but the guys didn't share. Some debated its authenticity, whereas others felt whatever they were tracking down there most likely possessed and took over one, if not all of them. While that sounds intriguing, we've no way of knowing for sure what happened that night. If you were to use your imagination, what would you say? Also, we didn't come across the original account for this one, so if you've seen the original video and know what happens to them, please let us know in the comments.
Dude, hold on. Let me go first.
Next time you're in Japan, you might want to double check what's on your plate, because believe it or not, you could be eating poop. Yeah, you heard that right. A Japanese scientist recently made headlines after unveiling a rather controversial solution to the country's growing sewage problem. He discovered that human excrement contains a surprising amount of protein material. So what did he do? He sent it off to the lab, mixed it with soy protein, processed it under high pressure, and gave it a food coloring to make it look more appetizing. And just like that, we have synthetic meat made from human waste. Apparently, it's even past safety standards. They say it's perfectly edible, high in protein, and believe it or not, environmentally friendly. But would you eat it, even if it tasted good? Or is this one scientific breakthrough that's better left off the grill?
研究費という点で言ったら、確かに今の段階では普通に売られているお肉のやっぱり何十倍か何百倍するかもしれません。ただこの研究がきちっと
Remember when we talked about the potential for scientists to record our dreams like movies? Well, it turns out there's more to that story than we might have imagined. A neurological tech company called REM Space has developed technology that could allow two people to communicate directly within their dreams. Here's how it supposedly works. Using specialized equipment, REM Space can induce lucid dreaming in both individuals, meaning that each person will be fully aware they're dreaming and, incredibly, have control over their actions within the dream. Then they connect via earbuds designed to transmit thoughts and communications from one dreamer to the other. The technology, still in experimental stages, aims to enable seamless conversation and interaction in a shared dream state. Would you give it a try? The Loch Ness Monster has been a creature of legend for years, with countless sightings reported over time, though we still aren't sure if it's all a hoax or if there's some truth to it. Recently, a man in Scotland sent his drone out over a body of water and captured what he believes could be the elusive Loch Ness Monster. In the footage, a massive wave appears on the water's surface, and right at the edge of the wave, you can spot a small head briefly rising before disappearing back into the depths. While this new footage adds to the growing number of sightings, I still can't help but ask, was this Nessie, or is it just another hoax? Remember the second clip we started today's episode with? It turns out Colorado is not the only place where clouds are lighting up. This clip allegedly comes from Vancouver, Canada, and it shows something similar, albeit with a little more variety this time. The light isn't shooting out of just one area this time. The light source appears to be moving behind the clouds, almost as though it was a craft or a couple of crafts. I'm no aviation expert, but even I know that there are no human crafts like this. This leaves only one suspect. aliens. And before you brush the idea off, take a second, third, and fourth look. Take a good look at the picture and tell me you see a nun too. You do? Good. Now allow me to tell you the story behind the capture. The photo was posted on Reddit by an individual who claims it was taken by his aunt who was testing out the camera of her new phone. Judging by the way the image looks, the phone is a few years old, but I guess what you all want to know is the story behind that beautiful lady in the image. The funny thing is, when the aunt took this photograph, there was no lady in the house but herself. She was alone, which left her a bit shocked. At first, she felt she had moved her hand while taking the photograph, but that was not the case. Despite keeping her hand steady, the photos she took looked like this. She hated to admit it, but it did look like a young nun or old-time nurse dropping something on the desk. Not sure about you, but if I took a picture and saw something like this, it would freak me out. Despite uploading the image and sharing her story, many were skeptical, and rightly so, because we live in the age of AI. To prove that it was real, she allegedly had the image analyzed, and it turned out that it had not been edited. When that was made known to the community, they all concluded that this had to be a real ghost. Probably it's the ghost of someone who had once lived in the building. At least that's the narrative going around. But what do you guys think? A subscriber recently sent in 2 fascinating and highly controversial images of clouds, and what they captured is quite wild. You know how sometimes we see shapes in the clouds that resemble animals or objects? Well, this is one of those instances, but on a much larger, more surreal scale. The first image they shared appears to show a massive cloud formation shaped like Godzilla. Yes, the infamous monster from the movies, and it's spot on. You don't even need to look twice. The second image gets even crazier. It depicts Godzilla's head with its mouth open and a bright beam shooting out from it, like its signature atomic breath. Now, I know we often talk about pareidolia, our brain's tendency to find familiar shapes and random patterns, but this one really does look uncanny. It's almost too perfect to be mere coincidence. Could the clouds be showing us something beyond the ordinary? Humans may all be made of flesh and bone, but each of us has unique features, appearances, and even traits that make us stand out. One especially rare and fascinating trait is called Tetrachromacy. Tetrachromacy is a condition that enables certain people to see significantly more colors than the average person, about 100 million more. This is because people with tetrachromacy have an extra type of cone cell in their eyes, allowing them to perceive an astonishingly rich color palette. What may look like a single shade to most could reveal itself as a whole spectrum to them. Imagine a world with endless hues where every scene, even the mundane, bursts with colors most of us will never experience. Are you considering going for a stroll in the woods this weekend? If you are, then this clip is for you. A family had gone into the woods to have a little family time. After playing all the games they could, they decided to take some pictures. It was all fun and laughter until they got home and started to review the photographs. It was then they noticed that the image on your screen had someone else in it, someone who was not a member of the family. In fact, they weren't even sure if the face behind him was human or not. They felt like if there was someone stalking them and photobombing their picture, well, they would have heard him or at least seen him. None of those things occurred, and that has left them spooked. They feel this might have been a paranormal and that it could have cursed them. Many in the community sympathized with them, while some called them out for lying. Take a second look at the image and tell me what you think. Do you think this family would really make up a story just for a few minutes of fame, or was there something truly otherworldly with them that day? Still on strange figures, stalking or visiting men, we got this clip from a man who was woken up in the middle of the night when he heard strange noises coming from his yard. Curious, but a little uneasy, he grabbed his phone and stepped outside to take a look, and that's when he saw it. A dark figure stood still in the shadows, its head shaped like a dog with glowing eyes staring right at him. The moment it noticed him watching, it calmly turned around and walked away, vanishing behind the gateway. Naturally, this man was terrified. He'd never seen anything like this before. But what really unsettled him was how calm the creature seemed, almost like it knew he was there all along. The internet is full of theories, with some convinced it's the legendary dog man, while others think it's just a big dog or wolf and the glowing eyes are just a camera flash trick. All these theories are possibilities since they had valid points. So, did this guy just have a face-to-face encounter with the dog man, or is there a more logical explanation? If you're a member of the paranormal or conspiracy community, you're probably familiar with the theory that the moon landing might have been staged. Rumor has it that on the outskirts of Las Vegas, there's a vast piece of land that some claim was the site where the 1969 moon landing footage was recorded. The terrain is said to have an eerie resemblance to the surface of the moon that was shown to the world during the famous broadcast. The theory suggests that the entire moon landing was a hoax directed by none other than Stanley Kubrick, the acclaimed filmmaker. Some believe Kubrick was chosen for his expertise in creating realistic scenes, as seen in his work on 2001: A Space Odyssey. Speculators believe that with the intense space race going on between the US and the Soviet Union at the time, faking the landing would have been a strategic move to ensure America's victory. This conspiracy has been circulating for decades, raising questions about the footage, the shadows, and the way the flag moved. But the truth remains up for debate. What do you make of this? Diamonds are famously known as one of the hardest minerals on Earth, cherished for their durability and sparkle. But did you know diamonds might do more than just sparkle? Scientists recently suggested that if we launched diamond dust into the atmosphere annually, we could potentially lower Earth's temperature by up to 3 degrees. The tiny diamond particles would reflect sunlight in space, acting as a sunshade to help counteract climate change. The real question, though, is whether we'd be prepared to make the atmosphere glitter like that. What do you think? Could diamonds really be our unexpected ally in cooling the planet? A homeowner in Florida woke up one morning probably expecting a quiet day. But when they stepped outside and looked toward their backyard swimming pool, they saw something floating in it. They had to call animal control immediately because there was a 9-foot alligator, and there's no way they were handling that on their own. The footage shows this massive reptile splashing in the water as the men tried to get it out. But this isn't exactly rare in Florida, alligators wandering into pools, golf courses, and even kitchens. So next time you're heading outside for a swim, maybe give the water a second look. You never know who or what might be waiting. Have you ever heard of the haunting of Hmel Park? If you haven't, buckle up. Hmel Park is a wooded area located in Omaha, Nebraska, and over the years, it's become infamous for some eerie stories. Locals claim the place is haunted, cursed even, and many have reported seeing things lurking in the trees. One man decided to investigate for himself. He headed out there, camera in hand, just to see if the stories had any truth to them. As he walked near one of the old staircases leading into the woods, he came across these candles. That's when something truly unsettling happened. He didn't see it at the time until later, but the camera caught it. Behind a tree was a pale white face, sunken dark eye sockets, almost like it had no eyes at all. The man was so scared that he fled out of there with the people he came with. What was that thing? Some say it's a spirit, others say it could be something more sinister. What makes this even darker is a comment someone left in the footage. They claimed they had visited the park years ago with their brother and was chased by the KKK. Apparently there's a history of violent energy attached to that land, and many believe that whatever haunts the park today could be tied to its troubled past. So would you ever visit Hmel Park?
Where?
Oh, yeah. This is a prank, I know.
Go! Go! I just saw him. Go! Don't fall! Don't fall up the stairs! Oh shit! Get your flashlight, hurry!
A woman had put her baby to sleep one night and set up a camera with a monitor connected to her phone to keep an eye on the crib. As they slept, something unsettling happened. A smoke-like figure appeared in the room, hovering over the baby's cot. Strangely, the baby didn't get up, and the figure just floated around for a moment before vanishing into thin air. The mother was understandably shocked when she discovered this later. While there's no clear backstory, like a deceased relative or anything, we can't say for certain what this entity could have been. A man discovered a striking insect in his garden one day. It looked like nothing he'd ever seen, and after seeing it myself, I shared the same sentiment. I was about to scream AI when one of our team members gave it a look and said, "The Mantis wasp fly. Cool." I looked it up, and surely enough, these things actually exist. The so-called mantis waspfly is a reference to the mantis fly, an insect with a remarkable mix of mantis, wasp, and fly characteristics. Mantis flies have forelegs similar to those of a praying mantis, which is what they use to ambush and grasp prey, and their bodies often mimic the appearance of wasps or flies as a defense mechanism against predators. Found worldwide, especially in warmer regions, mantis flies are small, usually between 5 to 20 millimeters, and have 2 pairs of transparent wings with intricate venation. Their larvae are sometimes parasitic, targeting spider egg sacs for nourishment. Mantis flies showcase convergent evolution independently. Developing mantis-like forelegs and their defensive mimicry helps them thrive in diverse habitats. And no, mantis flies are not aggressive towards humans. They may look intimidating due to their mantis-like forelegs and wasp-mimicking appearance, but they pose no harm to people. Mantis flies are predatory, only towards smaller insects which they ambush and capture with their specialized forelegs. Their mimicry of stinging insects like wasps is purely a defense strategy to avoid being eaten by predators, not an indication of aggression. So while they look fierce, mantis flies are harmless to humans who would rather avoid contact than confront it. If the previous clip sounded like a Cinderella story, this one will sound like Beauty and the Beast. She noticed while going over clips captured by his CCTV camera that there was something moving really fast in the distance. It's dark and appears to move on all fours at one point and then all twos at another. It moves so fast that it could almost look like a blur. When the clip was shared in our paranormal group, the dogman and werewolf enthusiasts came forward claiming this as one of their own. After carefully looking at the clip over and over again, they believed that what the woman had captured was a rare clip of one of these cryptids in action. While the dogman and werewolf community were united in their assertion that this was like and kin, they were unable to agree on which it was. Some called it a dogman, whereas others called it a werewolf. While this debate raged on, another sect rose up and stated this was a Wendigo. There were also some who called the whole thing fake. You've seen the clip, so what do you think? I entered this year with an open mind expecting anything, but if anyone told me that the American CIA was going to confirm the existence of the Ark of the Covenant, I would have laughed till tears rolled down my cheeks. Somehow, however, that seems to be the case. Declassified documents of the CIA point to the existence of the Ark of the Covenant. The declassified documents go a step further to describe the physical attributes of the Ark. If it was nothing and did not exist, I doubt the CIA would invest time or resources into it. I did some digging around and found out that in the 1980s, the US government investigated the legendary Ark of the Covenant through a classified project known as Project Sunstreak. The project aimed to explore the use of psychic abilities for gathering intelligence, including remote viewing, the alleged ability to gain information about distant locations without direct interaction. A key session in 1988 focused on the Ark, with a psychic tasked to describe its location and appearance. According to declassified documents, the psychic described the Ark as a wooden and gold container hidden in a dark, wet underground location near mosque domes in the Middle East. The session also noted the Ark's protective powers, suggesting that those who tried to open it without permission would face mysterious, fatal consequences. Despite the declassified information in circulation right now, the Ark's true existence and location remain elusive. Some have stated that the only reason the US has been involved in the Middle East conflicts has been to find and take the Ark for themselves. While that's not something beyond the CIA to do, it's purely speculative at this point. Some may believe the US already has the Ark, but maybe we're getting ahead of ourselves. But what do you guys make of this? Have you seen this? The world's first bioprocessor uses 16 human brain organoids for 1 million times less power consumption than a digital chip. What does this mean? Well, for starters, this bioprocessor is like a computer chip, but is made of human brain tissue made from a lab that had 16 brain organoids. These organoids are connected to communication channels known as electrodes, and through that, they process data. But unlike computer chips, this bioprocessor uses less power, in fact, 1 million times less. For now, they last for 100 days. If we know anything about scientists, it's that this wouldn't cut it. I know it's exciting, but it gives me Matrix vibes and has me a little worried and on edge. See what we're able to do with our current processors. Imagine what these could do once they are working optimally. As exciting as that can be, I have one fear. What if we lose control? What if these things evolve beyond us? What then happens to us? You know what? Let's not go there. I wouldn't want to seem like the pessimistic one, but think about it. Did you know each human sperm cell packs about 37.5 megabyte of data? That's like a tiny biological USB stick. Considering the average ejaculation contains around 450 million sperm, that's a whopping 16 terabyte of data, enough to fill numerous hard drives. Each sperm carries half the genetic information needed to create a new human. When DNA sequences are digitalized, each sperm's DNA equates to 37.5 megabyte. Multiply that by 450 million and you get an impressive 16 terabyte of genetic information. This fact raises intriguing questions about the potential of biological data storage and the future of bioinformatics. Perhaps men ought to be conservative about their sperm and not waste it, if you know what I mean. Now, I know you guys hate blurry footage, but I thought we could visit the subject of the sea serpent again. Do you see what looks like a giant serpent in the water? Have you ever seen that in all your years on the beach? If you said no, well, that'd be the two of us. Someone on this channel, however, sent an email claiming they'd seen it. They refused to say where for fear of being discovered, but they argue that the government has knowledge of these creatures and is secretly collecting them for something big. What? He didn't say, but it's got us thinking. Could there be any truth to what the person is saying? Also, did what we are seeing in the clip really happen? So many questions, yet so few answers. Just thought to include this as food for thought. If you've seen massive creatures or have footage of any, please share them with us via email. We want to understand this mystery. Paris is often called the City of Love. It's a dream destination where tourists flock to soak in the romance, culture, and charm. But lately, something disturbing has been happening that women especially should be aware of. More than 100 young women, most of them teenagers, have reported terrifying encounters during crowded festivals in Paris and other cities across France. While standing in the crowd, many said they suddenly felt a sharp prick on their arm, back, or a leg, like a needle. And they weren't imagining it. Medical teams confirmed tiny puncture wounds, and in some cases, syringes were even found at the scene. After these attacks, empty vials and bottles of unknown substances were found scattered across festival grounds and popular spots in the city. While victims were tested, no drugs were detected in their systems, and not all the needles were syringes. Some were reportedly sewing needles or compass pins, as if the goal wasn't to inject, but simply to hurt or scare. So far, a few individuals have been arrested, but French police are still investigating the why behind these bizarre attacks. Is it a coordinated effort, a sick trend, or something darker? No one knows yet. So if you're visiting Paris or anywhere, stay alert, stay close to friends, and always trust your instincts. Moving on, we got something even Julius might not be able to explain. Now, this lady was going through her wardrobe when she noticed a duplicate of a piece of clothing that she already had. The fabric and color were the same, but she'd never bought two of the same bits of clothing. This got her thinking, and she decided to share it online. Once she did, many also shared similar experiences with evidence they too had found duplicates, including socks and what have you that they'd never bought. As everyone was discussing their strange experience, some started pointing out that this might just be a glitch in the Matrix. To them, reality might not be as stable as we may have believed. If that's the case, then we have clothes and items slipping from parallel worlds and versions of ourselves, which is why this is happening. To them, there's a parallel version of us right now looking for their clothes. Crazy, I know, but why would you explain this?
Nothing weird about that, but then I came across this shirt, the same exact shirt in a different part of the closet. And this is not a shirt that I buy multiples of. This is like kind of a special occasion shirt. And this one has the tag that I had cut out. And this one has the tag where I had cut out.
Have you ever wondered why some people just happen to be in the right place at the right time, almost as if they anticipated it? Well, there's footage from a man in Berlin has people asking just that. He was casually filming a passenger plane flying through the sky. Now, you might be wondering why someone would randomly film a plane. Well, here's why. In the sky, there was a strange black ring hovering in place, and then just as the plane flies through it, it vanishes, gone, just like that. The internet is divided on this one. Some say it's a crazy real-life anomaly, maybe even some kind of portal. But others argue it's way too perfectly timed to be real and that the entire thing is CGI. Interestingly, there haven't been any official reports of a missing plane, which makes the idea of this being legit pretty questionable. So what do you think? The CIA is one of the most suspicious organizations. They've been tied to some of the world's most disturbing programs, from MKUltra to UFO conspiracies and even time travel. Back in 2003, the CIA declassified a set of documents that left many stunned. These documents detailed something known as the Gateway Experience. It was a series of experiments that were less about spies and weapons and more about altering human consciousness. And according to these files, they weren't just trying to expand the mind, they were trying to travel through time. The program was originally developed by the Monroe Institute, which explored out-of-body experiences and expanded states of consciousness using sound frequencies called hemisync. The CIA, of course, took an interest, and according to the documents, they believed that with the right combination of meditation, sound stimulation, and mental training, the human mind could potentially leave the confines of space and time altogether. They claimed that consciousness is not bound by the physical world, and if tuned correctly, it could access other timelines, dimensions, and even the past or future. The documents read like science fiction, but they're real, public. You can look them up. The files go on to suggest that reality itself is more like a hologram, a projection with enough focus, a trained mind that could break free from that projection and step outside of what we understand as linear time. So was the CIA actually onto something? Did they tap into a hidden truth about the universe, or was it just another experiment in their long list of what-ifs? Some of them were out in one of the Arab countries with their camels just minding their business in the vast open area when they spotted something strange. Out of nowhere, something fell from the sky and hit the ground before rolling a bit across the sand. They were quite a bit far off, so they zoomed in with their camera to get a better look, but none of them went over to check what it was. Because we don't have much information or a close-up, the internet has been going wild with theories. Some people are saying it could be an alien, possibly an abductee who was dropped back from a cloaked UFO. Others think it might just be debris falling from space, maybe a piece of a satellite. But if it really was space junk, wouldn't there be more wreckage? And if it was a person or a being, where did it come from? With no visible craft, no follow-up footage, and just a strange object dropping out of the sky, this one is wide open for speculation. So what do you think happened here?
¡Venga tu madre!
Ay, Dios de mi vida. Ah, no te pases.
Sí la vieron. Pinche madre, güey.
Ya está. Vean.
No la estamos molestando, vimos que se cayó y queríamos venir a auxiliarla.
The first thought that hit me when I saw this clip was, what's this? What am I even looking at? After watching the clip a couple of thousand times, the conclusion was that it might be a troubled man. How troubled? Well, I can't tell, but that's what it looked like to me. When I showed the clip to other teammates, they felt there might be more at play here. Perhaps the individual is possessed. While that does make sense, I couldn't help but wonder why it or he screamed anytime he was engaged. That's what made me think he was possessed. Julius, on the other hand, thinks the whole thing is an act, and the setup is a bit too convenient, like I work too well. He believes they set this up in an attempt to go viral. Well, you've seen the clip, so what do you guys also think?
¡Venga tu madre!
Ay, Dios de mi vida. Ah, no te pases.
Si la vieron, si la vieron, si la vieron, si la vieron. Pinche madre, güey.
Speaking of otherworldly beings, what would you do when you get a call from an abandoned funeral home? Ignore it, right? What if you were the police? Before you laugh, this is a real-life situation and a story from the Pueblo, Colorado Police Department. A 911 call came in one day at 3:28 a.m., and when it was answered, nothing intelligible was heard. They could hear the person talking, but it was inaudible. After a few seconds, the call dropped. Dispatch called, and when they did, there was no answer. Fearing something could be wrong, the number was quickly traced, and it belonged to the Imperial Memorial Gardens, which was a funeral home. Police were dispatched to the place, and when they got there was no one around. They searched, but there was no one. This isn't normal, right? When the story was finally made public, many individuals suspected that it might have been a ghost. Some even scrutinized the recorded 911 call audio. A few of those who did swore they could hear the inaudible voice saying, "Help me," and "Send help." I tried listening but heard nothing. Maybe I'm not trained in the art, but perhaps you guys will hear it. Please listen carefully.
Hello?
Did you hear anything? If you did, kindly tell us what you heard in the comments section. So, on the topic of shadow figures, take a look at this. Would you believe me if I told you that room was supposed to be completely empty? The person who recorded it didn't share much, just said they'd captured something otherworldly on camera. At first, people were excited. The clip came from Japan, and a lot of viewers thought it had to be legit. The eerie atmosphere, the sudden movement, the strange shape, it all felt pretty convincing. But then one person pointed out something that made a lot of us take a second look. If you slow it down and watch closely, there's a shadow on the floor that moves toward the spot where the figure shows up. And when the camera swings toward the back room, for just a moment, you can actually see someone standing behind the wardrobe. That's not all. The video seems to be sped up, probably to make everything feel more sudden and creepy. It's little things like this that really make you question what you're seeing. Is it something paranormal or just a carefully staged setup? Either way, it's a good reminder that not everything spooky is supernatural. But then again, what if this one really wasn't faked? They say Mars is the next big option for humans if things ever go wrong here on Earth. That's why there have been so many Mars missions lately, with everyone trying to figure out if the red planet is habitable. But what if it's already inhabited? Believe it or not, some researchers and internet sleuths believe Mars might already have life, or at least traces of something that used to live there. Satellite images and strange surface anomalies have sparked serious debate. Take this, for instance. Someone shared an image of what looks like a weird object on Mars. It's oddly shaped, has button-like features like a remote. People have also found formations that appear to resemble alien bones or fossilized structures. Are these just rocks playing tricks on our eyes, or could they be signs of ancient extraterrestrial life? It's wild to think about. If Mars was once home to intelligent life, or even if remnants of visitors still litter the surface, what does that say about our place in the universe? Maybe the planet we're racing to was already inhabited by tenants. A woman in Ohio recently shared this bizarre footage. She was just out on a walk with her child when she spotted this strange white ring of light floating just above the ground. The weirdest part was, it seemed to react to her voice. As she spoke, the shape started changing. Sometimes it looked like a perfect ring, other times it stretched out thinner. At one point, an orb appeared in the center, making it look like a giant eye staring back at them. Then, as if it was aware of being watched, it floated closer to the camera before eventually backing up and vanishing. People online are divided on this one. Some say it could be a portal, others think it might be some kind of interdimensional entity reacting to human presence. But in today's world of CGI and video editing, we have to consider the possibility that this is just a well-made hoax.
It just totally changed shapes on here. And I'm not moving. Okay, guys, if you watched from the beginning of this, you saw... Look! What are you? What are you?
Stepping away from ghosts, we focus on a more disturbing reality. Kung Fu fighting robots. Sounds crazy, I know, but take a good look at the clip playing. Is there any other way to describe this? For some weird reason, the trainers aren't bothered. After everything we've seen in literature and real life concerning AI and robots, you'd think we'd be a bit careful, but no, we're teaching them all we know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-robot and AI, but I do believe there should be some strict regulations in place. Looks like it's just a few of us who think that, though. If things keep progressing at the current rate at which they're progressing, it won't be too long before we create something we don't have any control over. Hopefully, Elon would have figured Mars out by then, and I could be on my way to the Red Planet. And before you scream the clip is AI, I scrutinized it a bit and even watched the reflections of the individuals in the glass and shadows on the ground. That's something an AI-rendered clip may struggle to consistently output. Take a look at that. It almost looks like an orb full of stars, like you're staring straight into a miniature galaxy. But this isn't space. It's someone's eye. And while it looks otherworldly, what you're seeing is a real medical condition known as asteroid hyalosis. Despite the name, it's nothing to do with space. Asteroid hyalosis occurs when tiny calcium lipid deposits form inside the eye's vitreous, the gel-like substance that fills the eyeball. These little particles catch and reflect lights, creating this starry floating effect. It can look dazzling, even eerie. The good news is it's usually harmless. Most people with this condition don't even notice it unless they're getting an eye exam or happen to catch it under the right light. Still, it's wild how something so beautiful and strange can be happening right inside the human body. You're looking at something that almost feels made up, but it's very real. A bright green spider with a smiley face on its back. No, this isn't AI generated. It's not a prank or a sticker someone put on a bug. This is an actual living spider. And it's called the happy face spider. A woman saw it crawling on a car, and understandably she freaked out. I mean, imagine seeing a spider grinning at you. But unlike the Joker, whose smile hides something sinister, this spider's face is the opposite. Despite its creepy, cute look, the happy face spider is completely harmless. These rare little creatures are found mostly in Hawaii, and their markings can vary. Some have full smiley faces, others just have strange symmetrical patterns, but it's their vibrant color and playful design that have made them go viral whenever someone spots one. So next time you see something crawling on your car, take a closer look. It might just be a happy little visitor from a strange corner of the animal kingdom. You know, just watch the clip. I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I've no words for that. If I was at the table, not sure how I'd have responded. We have actually tackled this topic a number of times, but anytime I see these clips, I just can't help but laugh. If you're new here, the twitching of meat after an animal is freshly killed occurs due to residual electrical activity and chemical processes in the muscle cells. After death, the body stops producing ATP, but the ATP that remains in the muscles allows for brief contractions. Additionally, calcium ions leak into the muscle fibers, causing them to contract continuously without being able to relax, leading to involuntary spasms. Nerve cells can also fire electrical signals briefly, further triggering muscle twitches. This activity typically stops as rigor mortis sets in, usually within a few hours after death, when the muscles stiffen and metabolic processes fully cease. I know that was a whole lot, but if you've ever seen your meat do this, when it's probably because the meat is fresh. Some people just love the thrill of doing dangerous things or putting their lives on the line. Definitely not my thing, but there are some who live for the thrill and would do it over and over again without hesitation. Take a look at this footage, for instance. Two friends decided to go exploring an abandoned house in the middle of the night, which was already a bad idea, if you ask me. They had their camera rolling, standing outside the building when they spotted something on the roof. Looking at it, you don't need to be a psychic to know that this was not human. It was a pale creature with glowing round eyes just staring down at them. It moved across the roof in a way that seemed almost deliberate, almost as though it was warning them not to come any closer. The moment the two guys noticed it, they backed away, but did not leave. When the creature disappeared from the roof, curiosity got the better of them, so they went back and peeked through a broken window. But there was nothing inside. Why did they do that? Well, I've no idea, but the creature reappeared. When it appeared the second time, they all agreed that that was enough spooky stuff for one day and bolted. Now, whatever this thing was, it did not look human at all. It had a humanoid frame, but it was way too skinny, almost unnaturally long, and the way it moved was just wrong. Many people who saw the footage are convinced it was a skinwalker. The way it crawled on all fours and moved so quickly definitely fits the description, but what do you think? During a heavy rainfall, something truly bizarre was caught on camera, and it wasn't your average lightning strike. In the footage, you can see a dense forested area with the rain pouring steadily. Then suddenly, a bright sheet of orange light erupts, but not like any lightning most people are familiar with. Instead, it's this wave of illumination spreading from somewhere deep in the trees, followed by a quick flash of intense orange light, and then, just like that, it dies out. Some have speculated that maybe a tree fell onto a power line, causing a surge and explosion. This could explain the color. Electrical fires often burn with that kind of orange hue, but even that doesn't quite line up with how massive and sudden the light was. It looked more like an energy discharge, not a single short-circuit pop. Others aren't so convinced by the mundane explanations. A few viewers pointed out how the light seemed to originate from within the forest, not above it, almost as if something inside the woods triggered the flare. That's led to more speculative theories, from military experiments to underground activity, or even natural portals that are said to occasionally appear in remote places. So what do you think? A few days ago, a storm rolled into Washington, D.C. It wasn't anything too out of the ordinary until someone noticed something strange just before the storm hit. Now, this isn't about lightning or thunder. This is about what showed up on the weather radar. Someone monitoring the radar noticed a massive storm system forming and moving across the area, but then something else appeared. From the right side of the screen, a fast-moving object shot across the radar, cutting directly toward the storm against the direction of the system itself. It wasn't part of the storm. It wasn't shaped like any known aircraft or natural interference. The person who caught this shared it online, and it immediately got people talking. A lot of folks believe this might be a UFO moving right into the heart of the storm. And honestly, what else could it be? It's not confirmed, of course, but more and more sightings like this are being captured, not just by smartphones, but by radar, satellites, and government tech. If something's out there, maybe it's not trying to stay hidden anymore. Speaking of things that could be AI edited, take a good look at this and tell me what you think. AI or real? I asked my team this same question, and Julius shouted, "Real," from the back. I almost thought he was trolling us again, but he pushed his glasses back and gave me that cool nerd look. Once he did that, we all paid attention because there was a lecture coming. According to Julius, the real reason someone can briefly touch lava without severe burns is likely due to the latent frost effect. For those hearing it for the first time, it's when a liquid comes into contact with a surface much hotter than its boiling point, causing the liquid to vaporize instantly and form a protective layer of gas. This vapor layer acts as a temporary heat shield, preventing direct contact between the skin and the lava. There's also the fact that lava is highly viscous, but this isn't a science class. If you guys are interested in learning about this kind of stuff, maybe I'll bring Julius on the next time. He also mentions that some companies use some special coating to protect their skin. So yeah, this does look wild, but it's all science, according to Julius. Imagine being on vacation without your boss's approval and then seeing this thing pop out of the water every now and then to stare at you. What would be the first thing to go through your mind? Spy cam? The individual who uploaded and shared this felt uneasy while he was not hiding from his boss, like Jeanette, our new intern, does anytime she brings her mummy's homemade apple pies, which everyone in the office loves so much. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Jeanette. We know you hid and devoured those apple pies yesterday. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Anyway, he was not hiding from anyone, but he felt that the seal looked funny and that it could probably be a spy bot or something. Many people laughed at him for not being able to tell a real-life harbor seal from a fake. He had a hard time defending his concerns until a worker from the facility showed up in his comments section and told everyone that the seal was indeed fake and that it was designed to come up every 2 hours to look and act real. It was at this moment that the man was vindicated. I'm pretty sure he might have thought he was losing it or that everyone else was losing it. What would you have done in his position? In North America, something strange was recently caught on camera and people are freaking out. A witness managed to film what looks like a massive spherical object on the ground. From the footage, it's hard to tell exactly what it is, but it's huge. It looks like a smooth metallic giant orb. The internet immediately went crazy with theories. Some say it's an advanced military drone or surveillance device for some secret project we're not supposed to know about. But others are leaning into a more mysterious explanation, claiming it could be a UFO. What makes this even more unsettling is that this isn't the first time something like this has been seen. Similar orb sightings have been reported around the world, from Brazil to Japan and now here in North America. Could this be the same object traveling globally? Could it be some kind of unmanned craft, either alien or experimental tech? Or is it something else entirely? Now, this next clip is one of the strangest things I've seen in a while. A few people had parked their motorbikes and were just hanging out, but then, out of nowhere, it gets weird. In the center, a man suddenly rushes toward another person and starts what looks like a physical struggle, but the person he's fighting with doesn't look entirely real. As the video plays, you notice that the figure he's grappling with seems to fade in and out of reality. One moment they're there, clear as day, the next they're flickering, almost transparent. But the man doesn't stop. He continues to fight this thing across the scene, moving around as if it's pushing him, grabbing him, and even throwing him off balance. What's even stranger is that the people standing nearby don't intervene. They're watching. Some look confused, others are just staring like they're trying to make sense of what they are seeing. So what exactly are we witnessing here? Is this man really fighting with a ghost? Anytime I promise myself I won't talk about the AI and robot thing again, I come across a clip that piques my interest. Take a look at this one. Would you be okay with this? Just in case it wasn't clear enough already, they're making robots for the medical field that will and should replace doctors. There's the belief that these robots will be more accurate and more efficient than human doctors, but will they though? Well, not all are convinced. Imagine your robot doctor misunderstood the information you gave or malfunctioned while performing a sensitive operation on you. How would you come back from that? If you were right, we can't, because it would be fatal, yet scientists believe this is what we need. Is this something you'd be willing to try out? Let us know in the comments section. Next, we visit Mexico again, where some men spotted something strange floating in the sky. It had this odd shape, and there were no visible propulsion systems, no wings, no rotors, nothing that looked like a normal aircraft. It just hovered there, looking completely out of place. People started speculating. Some thought it could be a UFO, but even compared to the many UFO sightings we've seen, this one looked different. Others suggested it might just be a bunch of balloons tied together, creating an illusion of something mysterious, but that's just a theory. We can't say for sure. Now, watching the footage yourself, what do you think? Someone captured something really strange in the night sky, and it's hard to explain why. In the footage, a UFO-like object hovers quietly with a bright blue beam of light straight down to the ground. The video doesn't show what exactly the beam hits or why it was sent down, but it's the kind of footage that raises more questions than answers. Some believe it's a form of energy scanning or even a method of communication or data collection, especially since similar blue beams have been reported in other UFO sightings across the world. Skeptics say it's just a lightning trick, a laser, or a CGI hoax, but then again, if it's fake, it's a pretty convincing one. So what do you think this was? Someone snapped a picture of this very strange-looking ship just off the coast of Columbia River near Portland, and people are trying to figure out what exactly it is. The ship had these giant golf balls on its deck, which gave it a bizarre, almost sci-fi look. It didn't resemble any regular cargo or military ship that most people would recognize, and that has sparked tons of speculation online. Well, one commenter who claimed to have worked near it shed a bit of light. According to them, the ship recently underwent a lot of crane work, and the balls are high-tech globes that were just installed. Here's the wild part. The ship is reportedly capable of tracking a golf ball in the atmosphere, which suggests it's built for serious aerospace surveillance or missile tracking. Inside, it's said to be packed with cutting-edge electronics and radar equipment, possibly used for monitoring launches, atmospheric activity, or other classified targets. So while it may look odd, it might just be one of the most advanced tracking vessels on the planet. Still doesn't make those giant domes look any less mysterious, though. Moving on, we came across this clip of a young lady who was going through an underground tunnel. Sure, the tunnel looks nice, but that's not why we're here. She was walking through it when she noticed that there was a man behind her. Seeing as it was just the two of them in the tunnel, she began to panic. At some point in time, she felt that the man might not be human and she might not make it. She started filming as a way to protect herself just in case he was human and had ulterior motives. She kept talking to the camera till she reached the end of the tunnel. As she saw the end in sight, she breathed a huge sigh of relief. She was really going to make it out alive. The clip ends here, but we know she made it out alive. I wanted to know if the man was a real person or if it was a shadow being or something paranormal, so did a follow-up. Guess what I found? He was completely normal. He'd seen her and thought she looked cool or good. That's why he tried to catch up with her. She was also scared and felt he might be a harmful human or something else entirely. If this was a cartoon or drama, it would have made one funny scene, don't you think?
I don't want to be doing this at like 3 o'clock in the morning, bro. I'm not ready. Okay, let's go to the lift. MashaAllah, beautiful, beautiful. Does not have to wait. Bye! We made it out! Why is it best loaded? Hurry up! I'm a happy boy. Oh, Allah, Allah, what's my love?
Next, we got a clip from a man who shared a chilling story about what happened to him deep in the forest one night. It was a therapeutic time in the forest until a figure attacked him from the shadows. It was unexpected, but that's not what terrified him. No. What terrified him was what he saw. Yes, he didn't see much, but whatever it was that attacked him, it was not human. It was much smaller than a human and moved in ways a human couldn't. His conclusion? It was a duende. For those unfamiliar with them, duendes are mythical goblin-like creatures from Latin American and Iberian folklore, often described as mischievous or protective spirits that dwell in forests or homes, sometimes helping or playing tricks on humans. If we're going with the playing tricks on humans part, it feels like whatever attacked the man is already nailing that part down. People have whispered about strange encounters in Fincas del Guarico, Calabozo before, and it's the same place he was attacked. Could there be a pattern? Is there something out there that no one fully understands? I guess we should send Julius out there. What do you think? Beachgoers in Maine were recently met with a strange and unsettling surprise. As they strolled along the shoreline, many people began to notice something odd underfoot. Dark, sticky stains spreading across the sand and coating the bottoms of their feet. At first, no one could tell what it was. Some thought it might be oil or pollution, others feared it was something more serious. But after a bit of research, it turns out to be something even weirder. It was millions of dead insects. A wave of tiny, lifeless bugs had washed ashore in massive numbers, darkening the sand like a slick stain. Experts believe changing tides or winds might have swept the swarm out to sea and then back in again, but no one's quite sure what triggered it. If this is just a natural event or a sign of something bigger in our environment, who's to tell? A homeowner recently shared this eerie footage from their security camera. The camera is mounted just above the front yard, facing the driveway of their home and their front door. It was late at night and everything was calm, until this happened. Out of nowhere, an apparition appears. You can see the shape. It's humanoid. It walks slowly across the yard, making its way toward the front door. What's really strange is that the camera, which has motion sensors, picked up on it immediately and began to track its movement. But just as it reaches the door, it vanishes. The motion detection stops and nothing else moves after that. Skeptics think it might be a glitch or a shadow, but others believe it could be a spirit, maybe someone who used to live there, or even a lost soul passing through. The question is, what was it trying to do? Was it just a residual haunting, replaying an old action, or was it there for them? Have you ever lost a pet and felt their spirit was in the room with you? Well, this cat owner did lose her pet cat, Mina, and then started to notice some strange occurrences around her old cat tower. In the clip, we see her toys and objects around the tower move by themselves, and then after a while, a translucent cat walks out meowing. Some who saw this shared their own experiences, whereas a few remained skeptical. Have you or someone you know had such an experience? Care to share in the comments section. The clip on your screen was recorded by a man who came home one day to find his dogs barking hysterically. If you pay attention to the audio, you'll hear a woman crying. Do you hear it? The more the woman in question cried, the more the dogs got upset. Once the man realized this, he felt his blood run cold. Why, you ask? Anyone who is asking this question is most likely new here. We've spoken many times about a woman who weeps at night because she lost her children. This woman is La Llorona, and once the man realized what was happening, he believed Llorona might be stalking him or someone on his property. He then uploaded the clip in search of other opinions from the paranormal community. What do you guys think is going on here? What do you think he should do?
Com raiva sempre vai perder. E eu vou mostrar nesse vídeo aqui. Você tá vendo aqui os dois gatinhos? Tá com raiva.
I'm not sure what the guy's saying, but that's very cute.
Tanta raiva, remorso, rancor, tá guardando tudo isso. Você não tá aproveitando nada.
This is like cats doing Disney Lady and the Tramp, but instead of spaghetti, it's a fish. That's cute. It's almost like his pals helping him eat.
Raiva sempre vai perder. E eu vou mostrar nesse vídeo aqui. Você tá vendo aqui os dois gatinhos? Tá com raiva, o outro tá tranquilo. Às vezes você, com tanta raiva, remorso, rancor, tá guardando tudo isso, você não tá aproveitando nada da sua vida. Só tá se perdendo. Enquanto as outras pessoas, estão aproveitando e você não.
Thank you for watching this episode of Classified Captures. Now do me a favor, if you got any videos, any images, any stories that you can share with us, then please post them to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. And we'll put them on here, and we'll even let people know that it was you who gave it to us. Well, of course, if you want. So, yeah, help us out. Anyway, I'm gonna go now because I'm hot as hell. And I got a motorcycle that I need to service. I've been Steve. This has been Classified Captures. Now do me a favor and share this with as many people as you can. And I'll see you in the next one.